Hey everyone, today it's January 2nd. We're gonna go do a quick bee inspection. It's kind of warm. It's around 50 degrees out right now, so I'm not opening them up really, just kind of looking at the top, seeing what they have for the dry sugar that I put up there, and then we will be just making sure that everyone's good. I'll show you how I wrap them up, and we'll go from there. This is my little bee yard right here. I currently have, I think, 19 or 20 of them. And it is kind of misting a little bit. You can see that it is warm enough for some of them to be active. So these guys are pretty active, which is good. But I need to check some of them. Some of them I need to finish prepping on because they don't have any reducers in there or anything. Need to clean out some of the dead bees out of the front. Just kind of want to make sure that they're good, because it's still early enough where I can do this. You know, once we get into you know, late January, February, I can't really open them up when it's like 30 degrees out, so I'll take the chance now when it's 50. You know, I'm not gonna, again, like I said, I'm not gonna split them apart, because that would just be devastating to them. It would kill them. But yeah, I'll get started and show you what I'm doing. Again, it is kind of damp. Kind of damp. You can see they're at the top. So again, I don't want to keep this open too long, but I just want to see what they got, if they have anything up top that I gave them. Hive tool, always losing the hive tool. Hopefully they don't try to attack me, which is very possible. All right, so as you can see, the sugar they have there, they're eating the sugar. So they seem to be doing okay. I mean, they have the sugar, and I can see honey inside there too, so I'm surprised that they're going after the sugar right now. But I'll have to check them later and make sure that they have enough later on in the season. Once we get, you know, sometimes in February we'll have a nice warm day that we'll have to come out and check them. But and pretty cool. So that's how I set them up. I leave their honey on, but then I'll put you know, 2 pieces of like a paper bag, and then I put the dry sugar right on top. In the condensation, you know, if there is any moisture inside the hive, what happens is if it does drip down, it drips onto the sugar, and it makes the sugar moist, so that way it's easier for them to take in. But yeah, I mean, that's pretty much how I set them up. I put the shim, I put the sugar down, and that's like in an emergency. So I'm surprised that they're actually hitting that right now, because I can see honey inside the frames. I saw some of it, so I can't explain that to you, but it's, at least they have it. If hopefully, maybe because it's a warmer day, they're coming up, and they're utilizing that. But I'll check them again probably at the end of the month. Hopefully we got a nice warm day. I'll come in and check them again. All right, so we got one hive in the front here. It's pretty clogged up. It's not too bad actually, but you know, we still got a good ways for winter, so I want to clean that up for them while I can. You see, it's just what it looks like is they were chewing on that paper from where I put the sugar on. You know, anything in their hive that they're not used to, they're most likely going to start chewing it up and try to get it out of there. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take this and try to clean some of that out for them. Hopefully. I might get stung, I don't know. Trying to do this without putting on anything. But this tool that I have is not the best. It doesn't have to be perfect, just all that junk out. Let me find, there's still some in there. Let's see if we can find something better. There we go. There, a little better. It's good. I'll block that up. Now, what I'll do is I'll put the reducer back on. Oh, sorry, lady. Try to avoid getting stung. Perfect. And that one's done. So here's one of my hives. This was actually a package last year, and it grew to 2 boxes. The thing was massive. I took a good amount of honey off them as well. But look at them. They look like they're doing really well. I'm gonna get them down so that way I can check the top, because it seems as though they really want to. It looks like they're kind of gonna come out at me, so I want to avoid that. I'm gonna smoke them a little bit, try to get them down. All right, look at the bad boys. This smoker is just not being my friend today. Honestly. God. Cover those guys back up. Grab a good torch. Torch up this smoker. I'll tell you, get yourself a torch, man. It makes lighting the smoker so much easier, for sure. Come on. I'll tell you, this hive has not been the friendliest either. Not quite sure why, but it's every time we've gone into it, it has given me a little bit of trouble. And when it was at its peak this summer, it's like you don't even want to go inside of it. Not to the point where they're just like completely swarming you, but you know, it's like they're pinging off your hand and your veil and everything else. But they did really well, you know. They were building very quickly. This guy sees, they just don't want me. They're angry. They're gonna come at me. I can already tell. They're already starting. Holy moly. I don't blame them. I mean, it's not like this is the warmest weather. I just want to make sure they're okay. They have enough stuff. Jeez. Come on, guys. Come on, ladies. Oh, man. Yeah. Yeah, they're out of sugar up there. I'm surprised that they're eating all the sugar, because they do have plenty of honey inside. All these hives I stacked with enough honey. So I'm gonna give them more sugar, but I'm wondering how I'm gonna do this without getting stung. Let's see what happens, because they're all gonna come out at me. pretty fierce. Yeah. Oh yeah, I'm definitely gonna get stung. In my jacket. Oh boy. Come on. You know, getting stung is one thing, but when they get inside your clothes, that's just a creepy feeling. I don't like it. You know, I've been stung plenty of times. Okay, let's see if I can get this done quickly. I'm gonna have to do some recon off to the side, put the sugar down on paper somewhere else, and then put it on there. They are just not having me right now. And again, I don't blame them. I'm inside their house right now. I'm not supposed to be. So, and they don't really care if I'm helping them or not. They just want me to hell out. So, do what I gotta do. And then we're gonna move on. Cover these bad boys up. Get the hell out of here. Oof, 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 da. Alright, okay ladies, I know, my bad. Alright, I'm gonna let you be. I think you guys got me. Yep, I think you got me in the arm. So, congratulations, you did your job. Holy Jamaica. Oh. Oh. Alright, seal them up. I think I might requeen these bad boys because they're these bad girls, I should say, because I don't like that. Every time you go in, they're just attacking you. But anyways, so that's one hive. I'll show you one more, and that'll be pretty much it for the video. It's pretty much just some winter maintenance. But yeah, let's go to the next. Bad this summer. It's another new package. This summer they did really well actually, but we're gonna check on them. As you can see, they're in there, they're alive. You know, that's another thing we're checking for too. It's just to make sure that they're moving. You know, someone's home, that's always good. Let me go ahead and open up the top. All right, so you see these ladies have not started eating their sugar yet. Maybe a little bit, but not really, so that's good. I don't have to add anything here. I'll probably check them in a month, see where they're at. That's an easy one, right? I like those. So I wanted to go over just how I insulate for the winter. Again, this isn't how you need to do it, it's just how I do it. What you really need to do is really just do something that works for you. Figure out what works for you. That's what beekeeping is all about. Is it's watching someone's YouTube video, and figuring out how they did it, try it. If it works, it works. If it doesn't, move on, try something else. And that's why it's good to have multiple hives. That way you can test things as well. But this setup here, this isn't the exact setup, but the YouTuber Vino Farms, his name, the guy that runs that farm, and also he has a bee channel. It's called Vino Farms. It's a bee channel. It's awesome. I mean, that's where I got this. He shows you exactly how to do this, how to make these, the sleeves, everything. And again, his channel is amazing. You'll find a lot of awesome stuff there as well. And he basically just, it's his journey as well, so it's cool. So check him out, Vino Farms, and it will show you how to actually make these if you wanted to do something like this. But it's not necessary. I know a lot of beekeepers that just leave them out, with the boxes just the way that they are. And some of them ventilate them, some of them insulate them. It's a big discussion on what is best. Again, it's preference. It's all what you want to do, how you want to do it, what you can afford too, because this is using the foam and everything else. It's not cheap in a sense. It's a lot of labor. But I just wanted to show you the setup one more time. And this has been modified since the first season that I did it. But it's just the sleeve that goes over the top. They have things out there now, they actually sell, I think, sleeves already made for hives too. But I made these from like sheets that were 4x8, and I just cut them down to size. But yeah, they also have things that are called the cozies that wrap around, have like an inside, like for the winter. I don't know, I've never tried them, so I can't really say anything regarding whether those are good or not. But then what I do is I put a shim in here, and I put I'll put like you saw, the dry sugar on top. On newspaper's too soft. I would probably do more of like a paper bag, something you get at the grocery store. So that way, that's like their emergency. And then I put the inner cover on top, and then I also have that bubble wrap. What it looked like, you saw that bubble wrapped with it's also an insulation. I put that inside to help with insulation as well. The biggest thing is you want to avoid, obviously, the condensation dripping down onto the bees. And I think that having this cover as well, insulated cover on top of your telescoping cover, it really helps with that, because that metal isn't cold. So I mean, that's how I set them up. I don't have any mouse guards. I haven't really had any issues with that. I know I probably should have them, but I haven't really had any issues with mice, which is nice. This stand is new. We just built this year. So it's pretty rugged. It's actually, they're old pallet racks that we got, that we just cut in half and made a stand out of, which is pretty cool. I've moved the bees. I said I've done this is my 4th season, coming into my 4th season. I moved the bees 2 times within that time. First, they were by that oak tree over there. I had 3 of them. Started with 2, split it, had 3, and then we had them right down a little over the hill right there, where you see like new pasture over here. That was all trees, so it had a nice wind barrier. And there was I had probably about 8 or 9 of them there. Yeah, I think 8 or 9 there. And then we wanted to clear that out, make more pasture, more pasture, more hay, because we have a farm here. When we did that, we moved them up here and we built this. And this is just a cool spot for them. I'm just gonna back up, show you the way that it kind of goes, you know, in a U shape, but right next to the apple trees, and it's a really nice spot for them. You know, it's the south. These ones are facing south. The ones over here are facing south. The back is the north. So they get the north wind, but these ones over here, you know, they don't have that north wind, which is nice. And I don't think we need to put any barrier up, but I mean, that's pretty much the setup. It's going to grow. I'm planning on probably putting maybe another stand here, and then another one at the end over there. I'm expecting to probably increase this to about 30 hives this season. So hopefully you guys will watch and join me for that journey. But again, thanks for staying tuned. I appreciate it. And again, if you have any questions or anything, please let me know.